On the night of March 18, 1996, a party in Quezon City, Philippines ended in horror. Young students were celebrating the end of the school year, dancing, laughing, and then flames broke out. In just minutes, the disco became a trap. The place was packed far beyond capacity. Exits were blocked, panic set in. Over 100 lives were lost. This is the story of Ozone Disco, the building that should have celebrated life, but instead became one of the darkest chapters in the country's history. A tragedy born of neglect, poor regulation, and human error. Stay with me, because what happened that night led to changes many hoped would prevent another disaster like this. Part 1. The beginning Ozone Disco was located on Timog Avenue in Quezon City, a popular nightlife area. It opened in 1991 under owner Hermilo Ocampo, part of Westwood Entertainment. It quickly became a favorite spot among students and young professionals. The building previously housed a jazz club called Birdland, operating until around 1990, before being converted into the disco. In the mid-1990s, party culture was thriving. Graduation season came, promos were run, college and high school students flocked for end-of-school year celebrations. Ozone was packed far beyond intended capacity. Part 2, the night of the fire. On March 18, 1996, just before midnight, during a big celebration, things took a turn. Sparks reportedly came from the DJ booth. Some survivors say they thought the smoke was part of a special effect. Within about 15 seconds of seeing smoke, panic set in. Flames spread rapidly. The sound system and lighting may have cut out. Visibility dropped due to smoke. There was only one obvious exit that many people used. That exit was narrow, crowded. Other exits were blocked. Doors opened inward, making it harder for people to push through in panic. Survivors recounted a stampede, many people trying to escape through that hallway, bodies piled up. Some trapped in the corridor. Smoke inhalation, suffocation were among the causes of death. Firefighters took hours to fully extinguish the fire. Many victims were badly burned. Some identification of victims was difficult because the condition of bodies was severe. Part 3, why so much loss? Overcapacity. Estimates vary, but many more people were inside than the club was meant to hold. Some reports say 350 patrons plus staff versus a much smaller safe capacity building code violations, lack of adequate fire exits, insufficient or improperly installed safety devices, sprinklers, fire extinguishers, warning systems not working or absent, doors swinging inward which worsened evacuation, exit routes blocked or improperly designed. Corridor essentially became choke point. Regulatory negligence. City engineers and officials had approved certain permits, certificates, inspections despite known safety deficiencies. Many violations were known or discoverable. Part 4. Immediate aftermath. The death toll, officially at least 162, predominantly students and young people. Injuries dozens more. The site was left abandoned for many years after the fire. Families of the victims struggled with grief, identification of victims, compensation, investigations launched. Legal cases, owners of the disco, safety officials, city engineers, inspectors were eventually charged. Part 5, justice, trials and convictions. In 2001, some owners were found guilty of reckless imprudence resulting in multiple homicides and injuries. Fines imposed, some prison sentences. In 2014, many of the city safety officials and owners were convicted under anti-graft and corruption laws for permitting violations. Sentences ranged from 6 to 10 years. However, delays and appeals stretched on criticism that justice took very long. 18 years after the event for some verdicts. Some officials retired or were no longer locatable, compensation payments, etc. Part 6. Legacy and lessons learned. Changes in regulations. Building and fire safety laws modified, awareness raised of disaster risk in public venues. Public consciousness of fire safety improved. Memorialization. Site remained unused for many years. In 2015, the building was demolished. Now a restaurant, Gouda, occupies the site. Some controversy over lack of an official memorial. Impact on victims' families. Ongoing trauma. Calls for proper remembrance. Better law enforcement on public safety. Conclusion and reflection. Ozone Disco remains a reminder that safety cannot be an afterthought. That laws matter. That human error, greed, or neglect can turn celebration into catastrophe. If one single thing survives from this tragedy, let it be the lesson. Every building with part of our lives inside it deserves to protect those inside. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. so more people learn these forgotten lessons. Comment below what safety lessons or changes you'd like to see in your community,